So what is this course? It's a 1 year program. It kicks off in September, but we do get sign-ups from last November, really. And this time of year is a really good time to commit because September feels like a long way away, but it really isn't in terms of getting everything in order, kind of lining up what you're going to be doing, making sure you've got all your tools and materials, all those kinds of things. And also just psychologically to kind of get ready for, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing next year. So it's a 1 year program to develop high level technical skills. It is a very technical program, which I absolutely love because it's just about making and learning things. There's not a lot of theory. There aren't essays and lots of writing. Those of you that will have done diplomas with us before will know that it's very practical, the training that we do. And this year, I think you'll also really discover who you are as a jeweler. So as you go through the different diploma programs, you're learning more and more different skills. But I feel like by the third year, which is what this program is, you're really kind of understanding, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and this is where I'm going to end up. It's advanced to professional level, so we already expect you to be quite a high level. If you look at the diploma in silver jewellery and the diploma in fine jewellery and you feel confident that you could do all of those things, for those of you that haven't done the program, then we do accept people in at this stage. But most people who come on the advanced diploma have come from the fine diploma the year before. And that's why we made it. It's a perfect follow-on. So if you are currently on the fine diploma and you're thinking, it's really hard, I'm not sure I can do any more, please don't worry. This was made to be the next progression. So you don't have to be there yet. Our job is to get you there. And we are very confident that this is a natural follow-on. And if I'm honest, I don't know that it's harder than the fine diploma. It's just different projects, more projects, perhaps a little bit more intricate stone setting. But it depends. Different people find different things hard or easy. So I know that you can do it. So anyone who's not met me before, I am Jessica Rose and I am the founder of Jewelers Academy. I'm very passionate about teaching people jewelry making and also to run successful, profitable jewelry businesses. It's what I live and breathe. I love it. And I'm a jeweler myself and I do lots of teaching and training. We had a physical school in London from when I was about 19, which is a super long time ago. And we were there, we trained around 40,000 people in person before we took our training online. And now we train people from all over the world. And we've actually just started opening a new physical premises in Brighton in the UK to train people in person as well. So all the jewelry training, we just like to cover it all. And we help people from total beginner through to really professional, kind of high end of the market. So everybody is welcome in our programs. A quick question for anybody who's here with me live. If you could master any one technique in jewelry making this year, what would it be? Do come and share in the comments. And I'd be interested to know if any of them are on this program or if there are any other ones that you're thinking of doing. Also, just to say hello, Anna is here from Edinburgh in Scotland. Anita is here from Grimsby. Amy is here from the east coast of the US. Welcome, Amy. And Catherine is here from the northwest in the UK. So I'd love to know, you guys and anyone else, what techniques are on your mind. If you're like, oh, if I could do that, that would really move my jewelry business on, or that would really allow me to do some new designs. Catherine's team pavé. I love that. I think it's often pavé for a lot of people. Great choice as well. I love pavé setting, very satisfying. I mean, I still need to practice a lot, but it is, you know, drilling all the little holes, setting all the little stones, making everything sparkle. Oh, yes, you're gonna love it. Okay, so what we're going to be covering today is what the Advanced Jewellery Diploma is. I'll share a little bit about our diploma programs for anybody who is new. Those of you that are on diplomas, like I said, it's slightly different, so I'll share the slight changes. We'll talk about the level of support because that is the one, I'd say the one most important thing in our programs is how supported you are, because it's one thing to look at videos of people making jewelry and it's a whole entirely another thing to make it yourself, feel part of the community and be able to stay on track and kind of accountable. We'll have a look at the projects, which is probably the most exciting bit, a little look at some of the tutors because they are incredible. We are so lucky, especially at this level, the jewelers that we have access to, and also be answering any questions if anybody has any. I saw someone else shared as well, star setting. Yes, Amy. Oh, love the star setting. So we all want to get used to the gravers, star setting, pavé, setting those beautiful little stones. I'm with you guys. So the Advanced Jewellery Diploma, like I said, it's 1 year. It starts in September. It runs across 3 terms. So roughly speaking, it's 10 teaching weeks a term with a couple of workshop days and kind of time to send your work to us for marking. The time we recommend putting aside is a minimum of 1 day a week. This is very flexible, so it can be a full day every week, or it could be a couple of afternoons or a morning and an afternoon, or it could be an hour a day. It is entirely up to you how and when you do it. There are some live elements to the course, which other live calls, a bit like this, but most of it is pre-recorded and you can access anytime. You'll also get lifetime access to the videos, which is an incredible element of the program, because if you make something and you're not going to make it for another 5 years and you come back and you want to make it again, the library will be there waiting for you. So it's advanced level. So it's for jewelers really looking to develop their technical making skills. And this is the first advanced jewelry diploma. It's all completely online, completely remote and professional learning. We have people from all over the world. We're so lucky to have such a diverse community. There tends to be a smaller group in the advanced diploma versus the other diplomas. But what's really nice about that is you guys will get to know each other so well, because there's a Facebook group and lots of different places you can interact, as well as on Zooms. And so what we found in previous cohorts is that people become friends, and sometimes if they're in the same country, they may end up kind of meeting up and developing their network that way. And that goes way beyond just the diploma. That just, is a kind of lifelong support for your business, really, to know other jewelers who are at a similar level to you. So just a quick recap on how the diploma structure works. Year 1 is diploma in silver jewelry. This is for beginner and improver jewelers, and it's not easy. They cover a lot of things in there, even some quite complex stone settings, but it's a whole year to train as a professional jeweler. And what happened was our students went through it and then they said, what's next? So we're like, oh, okay, sure, let's make another one. So that's where the diploma in fine jewelry came. And that was really for people wanting to develop their skills working with gold, claw settings, more intricate settings, tennis bracelets, these kind of really fun and interesting projects. And then year 3 is just a continuation from that. So there's so much in year 3. I can't wait to kind of go through it all. But like I said, if you have followed this program, it's how we structure it is based on incremental learning. So we know what you've covered before, and we try not to cover too much of it again, and we just move forward from where you're at, and then encourage you to develop those skills. And it's been incredible to see people go through all of this, and they are a different jeweler entirely from when they start, as you can imagine. So I'm excited for you guys, especially some of you I know are already in the midst of the fine diploma, probably looking at the advanced thinking, oh, I wonder whether I could do that. I wonder whether that's something I want to follow on with. And we definitely encourage you to, if it's calling you. So in terms of the tools and materials, most of it is the same as what you'll have for the other diplomas. So your basic kind of workshop toolkit is going to be the same. There's not a huge amount of additional tools. We do have a few bits and pieces which are listed on the website, but most of them are things like specific burrs and little bits and pieces that are going to help you. And because you are doing more stone setting and you're working with gravers and some other kind of very specific tools that need to be pre-prepared, we are giving you a toolkit. So this is included in the cost of the price. It's an incredible stone setting kit. It's actually put together by master stone setter Scott McIntyre, who has written the book on stone setting. And he is honest, I've done training with him in person as well, and he's honestly the best stone setter that I know. He's incredible. Anyway, he prepares these kits for us, which we send out to you in these double little bags. So you have everything that you need for the more tailored part of the course. Because as you get into more of this stone setting stuff, there's more tools that you're going to be creating or adapting yourself. And that can be tricky when you're learning. So that's why, sorry, Puppy is here coming for treats. So that's why we give it to you so that you've got all those, you've got your stone setting toolkit, and then you can just work with them, kind of sharpen the gravers and stuff, and it will be a long time till you need any more. So let's have a look at how you learn. So you're going to have weekly lessons. Now, it's not every single week because this program is more advanced. Some of the weeks will last a couple of weeks because you need to go away and make the pieces, and it's going to take more than a day. It might take 2 or 3 days, which in case we give you 2 or 3 weeks to average out the 1 day a week. All of our courses are professionally filmed by a film crew with multiple different angles, lots of close-ups. So you can really see what's going on, which becomes so important when you're looking at micro settings because they're so small. You're definitely going to need the optimizers for this one. That's all I can say. You don't need a microscope, but you do need some optimizers. And you'll have, as I mentioned, ongoing access to it all. So in terms of your technical making support, so this is like if you get stuck, if you need help, and just to generally move your jewelry skills on, you're going to have 3 one-to-one marking sessions with a technical mentor. So they will be for people who've done diplomas before, the same sort of thing. You send your work to us at the end of each term, and the next term you'll have a one-to-one with your mentor, and they will have your work in front of them. They'll look at it. They'll give you the feedback to be able to help you to develop and grow. There'll also be regular Meet the Expert sessions. So these are taught by the tutors on the program. So whereas with the other programs, you have a mentor who's in your groups every couple of weeks, this time you will be part of, you'll have the actual tutor from that course, because now we're getting more advanced. It's not a general tutor you'll have the tutor who is specifically an expert in that area. So for example, with pavé setting, you would have Scott. And with other things, you'll have a different tutor because different people are good at different things. So we want to make sure you have the very best people to learn from. So these will be group sessions. You'll be able to come together. Like I said, it's a smaller group, so they're quite social. Invariably, we end up talking about tools and other things as well. So get jewelers together. What are they going to talk about? Gemstones and tools. But no, we cover kind of any kind of technical support, or you might just have some questions, or you might be sharing, this is how I did this and this, how are you guys doing it? What did you do if you got stuck on this bit? Did you find this challenging? So it's really that community aspect, which we know is so important, especially as you develop your career in jewelry. You can attend as many or as few of these as you like, but we really encourage you to attend them all because they are incredible. Why would you not want to spend an hour or so with a master jeweler? We do have replays available, and there will be a mentor there each time as well as the expert. So like I mentioned, you have your one-to-one sessions each term, plus the marking ones at the end of term. So you'll meet up with your mentor regularly, and you can select the time for your Zoom calls out of their calendars. So those of you on current diplomas, this will all be quite familiar. The main change is that instead of the fortnightly Zooms, you'll have regular Meet the Expert sessions with the expert from that particular program that you're working through. Then there's the Diploma Facebook group. This is your kind of 24/7 access to each other and to ourselves. It is staffed Monday to Saturday, so 6 days a week we will be in there answering your questions. It's kind of your way of contacting the mentors in between sessions as well, because if you have any questions for them, you can just ask us and we'll get back to you. But it's also just a nice place to build community and check in with each other, see how you're getting on, what events you're going to, how your businesses are doing, all of these things. Okay, so let's have a little look at the team. Like I said, we are so lucky with this team. I love all of these jewelers so much, and their skills are incredible. So you couldn't really be learning from anyone better, in my opinion. So first up, we have Anelia Caprina. I know a lot of you guys will know Anelia by now, but if you don't, you can see a little picture of her there. She is a very incredible fine jeweler. Her background is kind of working in the Hat and Garden jewelry workshops. So she has made so many different types of jewelry, lots of stone setting. You can see a couple of her pieces here, very technical, very precise. And I've learned so much from her already. So I'm excited for more people to have that experience too. She also loves teaching and is super knowledgeable and kind of loves passing on that knowledge to other people and seeing her students grow and develop. So she is one of the team. Next up, like I mentioned already, we have Scott McIntyre, who is a master stone setter, and he does live up to the name. He also is quite a character and very funny on the group calls, which helps bring, you know, a little lightness to the program too. But Scott's real kind of area is stone setting. He's going to be teaching pavé setting. He's also teaching halo setting and tension and channel setting. So some really challenging settings, but a lot of fun. And he really breaks it down in a way that makes it accessible. So whilst you may look at it and think, how on earth would I do that? He just tells you, and then you do it, and it's okay. So a lot of fun to be had in those sessions too. And Scott has his own jewelry school up in Glasgow and teaches people all the time. So he's an incredible tutor as well. Then we have the lovely Hayley Kruger. Hayley has been part of our crew for so long. She was one of the first tutors that joined us at London Jewelry School back in the day. And Hayley is just such a lovely person. Anyone who knows her will agree. She has such a kind heart, incredible jeweler, more than 20 years bench experience. And Hayley's kind of specialism is she makes a lot of commission work. She does a lot of bespoke pieces, engagement rings, you know, special one-off kind of pieces. Quite a bit of mixed metal, working with gold, working with stone settings as well. And again, she just really breaks things down and makes them accessible and kind of relatable, because so she's like, yeah, this is quite tricky, but this is how we can figure it out. So again, just an incredible person to be part of the team. Then we have the wonderful Michael Malloy. Michael has been working in jewelry for a super long time, and he's also been training lots of jewelers over the years. He is also a tutor at Central St. Martin's in London, which is one of the most kind of famous traditional kind of jewelry degree programs. And Michael's real interest is design, and he does a lot of catwalk pieces. He also has done a lot of work for celebrities, for fashion shows, for the catwalk. So it's a real different take on things. And in a little bit, you'll see the class that he teaches, and it's kind of interesting to see the differences. Then we have the wonderful Michelle Lier. Michelle flew over from the US to come film this with us, and I'm so glad she did. She is another incredible tutor. So Michelle is a specialist in filigree jewelry, and she is so passionate about it. And she is teaching the filigree with gold course on this program. And again, she's just so giving with her knowledge. Like she would talk to you about jewelry all day. She loves making jewelry, and she loves this craft and learning things and exploring and encouraging people and sharing tips. And her courses and her jewelry is incredible. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Then we have the wonderful Catherine Richmond. Catherine, again, has such a different take on things. Catherine did a degree in jewelry and a master's, and her real interest is what's called narrative jewelry. So it's jewelry that really tells a story within a piece, and it's a sub niche of jewelry. If you haven't ever heard of it, check it out. It's really cool. And she's going to be teaching one of the projects within this program as well, just to give you a little bit of a different flavor of the jewelry industry and different ways that you could take things. And then finally, we have the wonderful Barbara Yard. Barbara, again, has been with us a really long time. Some of you may have had her in previous diplomas or as a mentor. Barbara's real interest is working with gold, texture, kind of like reticulation, like ancient artifact looking things with stone settings in. And she's going to be also joining us on this program. So that's the dream team. It's pretty cool. I mean, I love them. What can I say? So what skills do you need before you start? This course is recommended, like I've said, as a follow-on from the Diploma in Fine Jewellery. So if you're on the Diploma in Fine Jewellery, then you qualify, and this is perfect for you. So you don't need to worry about whether you're going to be good enough. Just go for it. It was made for you. If you are new to us or you've not done any of the diplomas before, then we would love to have a chat with you just to make sure that it's the right program for you before you sign up. So we just recommend booking a discovery call with us, just so we can talk through your experience and what you've covered. And mostly we're just checking, can you do all the things in the Silver and the Fine Diploma? But only because we're not going to cover them again. So we're going to assume you know. So if you don't know, you might not be able to complete all the projects. So it's really important to us that you are at the right level so that you get the most out of the course. But yes, like I said, we have a mixture. Some people join having not done a diploma with us before, but lots of people join from the Fine Diploma too. All right, now is the juicy bit, the curriculum. Let's have a look. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. I know it's a lot of information coming at you. So we will kick off with term 1, which starts in September, and week 1 is Russian wedding band. So this is taught by the lovely Barbara Yard, and she teaches us how to make a 3-ring Russian wedding band. These are quite popular, and it's just a really lovely skill to learn and to know how to do. Some of the techniques that you'll learn about is sizing. Sizing is a big thing for your Russian wedding bands, but also working with different golds. So you don't have to make it in gold. You can if you like, but she is working in different types of gold. We've got yellow gold, we've got red gold, and we've got white gold, and they are all different metals that behave slightly different. And when we are soldering them in the same piece, there are various different considerations. So it's a really nice way to sort of ease in to the program, do something really fun, play around with some gold, maybe, or not, and just learn how to make them. And they're so satisfying when you wear them. I've not got one on now, but they kind of roll up and down, and it's just, you know, if you like that kind of feeling jewelry, then you're going to enjoy these. And of course, we do it with 3, but you can do it with 5, you can do it with 7. It's a technique that's really of interlocking rings that can be really lovely to add to your kind of repertoire. Then we get into some stone setting. So weeks 2 and 3, you'll be making an eternity band. You can do a half eternity band, because we're not mean, and it's your first go. So this is using a split claw setting technique, or sometimes it's called castle setting. So if you have a look at the rings, the little settings look a little bit like a castle. And I absolutely love doing this setting. It's super satisfying. It's so lovely to do on its own, like as an eternity band like we're doing, but also it works really beautifully as a shoulder on a ring. So for example, if you had a big setting in the middle and 2 little shoulders, you know, just a couple on either side can be a really lovely feature. So you're going to be working with drilling, kind of getting used to consistent spacing, marking things out, these kind of things, but then also using the setting bars, working your way through everything, and just creating some beautiful settings. So a really nice way to start off the term. Then week 4 to 6, it gets a little bit hot, it gets a bit challenging, but we like to challenge ourselves. So this is the cluster earring project. So this again is with Anelia Caprina, and it's the first time really in the diplomas that we're doing a cluster of claw settings together. So you'll be working with a back plate, which means you're sort of working from a sheet, creating the under bezel, if you like, or we call it a back plate. Then you'll be attaching on the claws, and you'll be doing 4 settings in each earring, so 8 settings in total. And then also we're adding in some granulation because it wasn't hard enough, just to challenge ourselves. So it's things that you've done before. So you will have done a claw setting before, you will have done granulation before, you will have made a pair of earrings before, but it's, I think what's the real key to advanced work is we're putting it all together, and what order do we do everything in, and it does get more technical. So this is going to move your technical skills on leaps and bounds, and that's why we have 3 weeks on it, because it is a technical piece. Then we get into the pavé setting, so a really nice follow on from the eternity band where we were doing castle setting. It's really good to do that first, and then we're used to working with the small stones and kind of managing drilling and all those kind of things. Pavé is nothing to be afraid of. It is so fun. It is small, but you know, jewelry's small, and we have magnification so we can see it, and just a really lovely way to learn the technique, and again works really well on a ring. I mean, pavé works well on everything. I just think it looks beautiful wherever you put it. So Scott will be guiding us through that for a couple of weeks. Then to end off the term, we give you a bit of design freedom and ask you to make your own ring. And here are some examples here. And it is how to construct, we're really looking at how to construct the band of the ring. So it's hard to see actually from this picture, but there's two different styles on these rings. So there is the split ring, which is kind of split. And then when you have a big stone at the front, like the hexagon one here and the oval morganite, and then you have stones at the side, you don't want to just put it on a band, because you have all these beautiful stone settings, you've done all this technical work, and then you don't just want to solder it onto a band. You need to think about the construction of the band and perhaps having a bridge behind the stones. So they actually do have a bridge behind them. So Anelia will teach you how to do these different styles of band ring construction. And then you can use your stone setting skills that you've learned so far in previous courses and this one to be able to make your own beautiful kind of cocktail / engagement ring. People have a lot of fun with these, and it's a really lovely way to end off term 1. Then we have a workshop week at the end, which is time for you to polish anything up, finish it up, get it ready to send to us for marking. You send it to us in our warehouse in London. We get it to your mentor, and they will mark the pieces before giving you some feedback on them. Okay, let me know if you guys are still with me. Give me a thumbs up or something in the comments. And I would love to know from term 1, which is your favorite so far, if you remember any of them. I obviously can't choose a favorite because I love them all, but I'd love to know if any of them stand out to you. And I'm going to ask you the same for term 2, so you can listen up. All right, so term 2, we start with something a little bit different. Anita's still here. Love it. Awesome. Thanks, Anita. So we're going to be doing, for the first couple of weeks, a really fun project, which is a brooch. So this is the first time we've made a brooch on the diploma. And we're also combining lots of different ways of riveting, which you will have done a little bit of before. And this is taught by Catherine Richmond. So this comes back to the narrative jewelry. So Catherine talks us through this idea of creating a mini scene or a mini kind of picture on a piece. So it becomes a real living kind of piece of art. And here you can see her one kind of coming together, where she had this poppy. She also had like this little ladybird. She had all these different botanical pieces, different layers, and piercing. So you're kind of creating a story. And what I love about this is seeing what people have done with it. There's people who've done like outer space with space rockets and moving parts, because with the rivets you can kind of make little bits move as well. And there's people who've done really abstract things with the design as well, and just really using it to tell a story. We're working in different metals, so we're working in some copper, some brass, some silver. Catherine talks through also how to create some different decorative finishes. So it's just so cool. And actually quite a few people who I've asked have said this has been their favorite project. And I think the reason why is because it's so creative. So it's not maybe quite as technical as some of the others, but you really get to share a story. And I think so often we don't have the freedom to do that in our making, because especially at this level, most people are making and selling. They need to think of the commercial aspect of things, but to be able to sort of say, okay, for 2 weeks, you're just going to tell a story for a brooch. And the nice thing about a brooch is you've got more scale. So you've got a bigger piece that you can really explore. So we have a lot of fun with that one. Then weeks 3 and 4 is the kinetic jewelry project. And you can see it there. It's so beautiful. It's this beautiful kind of lotus that Anelia has made for us. And it moves, as the name suggests. So when you pull down on the little strings at the bottom, the petals kind of flap in and out. And what's really nice about this piece, there's lots of things. First of all, we're starting to explore kinetic jewelry, movement in jewelry, creating levers, how we can bring about movement and what things we can use to do that, but still keeping a nice delicate piece. We're also doing some piercing, so practicing our piercing skills. We're working with multiple layers. There's actually 3 layers on the piece, so we need to get the tension just right, so there's room for movement, but also enough tension to hold it together. There's some rivets, there's some solder joints, and then we have a beautiful claw setting as well, just for good measure, because it's advanced, because we want to. So again, a really lovely project to kind of work through and develop your skills with. Then we're back to some more stone setting. You can see there's a strong stone setting theme here. So week 5 and 6 is taught by the wonderful Hayley Kruger, and this is the baguette set ring with flush setting and mixed metal. So again, combining lots of things in here. So you've got a mixed metal band using gold and silver in this case. You've got beautiful flush settings down the side, and then your first baguette setting. So Hayley will guide you through how to create that structure and how to set that shape ring. Then we have the Mixed Media Catwalk Week. This is the one that's taught by Michael Malloy. So you can see it's got a real different flavor to it. We're working with wood, we're working with brass, we're working with scale, because a lot of the work that we do in this course is small stone setting, technical detail, which is awesome. But as you're developing as a jeweler, it's a really good idea to explore things that are a bit outside of your comfort zone and say, okay, how could we make a piece if it needed to be big? What would you do if you were designing for a catwalk? Because clients can come along and say, I love your work, but could you do something more like this? Or could you explore something different? And I find that when people make pieces like this, it really questions their design choices, and it really questions their point of view as a designer. So we're not just looking to improve your technical skills, although that is a huge part of the course. We're starting to kind of push some of the boundaries of what you're doing in jewelry, you know, playing with scale, playing with materials, playing with mixed media, and seeing, is there anything in here? Because we don't all just want to end up making the same pieces. We want to explore, you know, what is it that interests you? Do you like big pieces? Do you like small pieces? Do you do a mixture of the two? So it's a really fun explorative week, and it's great to work with wood as well. And then we finish up the term with our filigree project with Michelle Lier. So you can just see these beautiful rings. They're so beautiful and elegant. I actually really love filigree. I've not done anywhere near as much as I'd like to, but it's one of those things that looks scary, and then you do it and you're like, it's hard, but it's also fun. So you will have done some filigree before in the previous programs, but we've never worked with gold, and it is a little bit different because those of you that have done filigree will know that you need to get everything up to the same soldering temperature kind of at the same time, because you might have 27 solder joints in one piece and they all need to go together, otherwise it's a little bit tricky. So doing that with gold, the heat conduction is a bit different. So Michelle gives us some really good guidance and advice on how to do that. You also are going to put a beautiful stone setting of choice in the middle too, and working with the outside of the ring, you might end up doing mixed metals. Most people do, because of the price of gold can be quite prohibitive these days, but a really elegant kind of piece that you can work through as well. And that brings us to the end of term 2. You always have a workshop week at the end, and then we come into term 3. So things are getting serious now. So weeks 1 and 2, you are doing 2 stone settings in one piece. So you will learn a tension setting, which is where your stone is held together by the tension of the ring. So it's usually a ring setting, and it's a thick ring, which is why we've worked in copper for this piece, but you can do it in whichever metal you choose. And we are essentially burring out where the stone is going to go and popping it in. So it's always a little bit of a kind of hold your breath and pray moment when the stone goes in, but a really elegant, beautiful kind of setting to explore. Then we're also going to be doing channel setting, which is another challenging setting where you're going to be carving out a channel in the metal where the stones sit, but it's really beautiful, really elegant way of setting stones. So a little bit challenging, but also lots of fun. Then we move on to the halo setting, and I feel like every project I'm like, this is my favorite, this is my favorite, I love them all. So halo setting combines the pavé setting, which you've learned before, so we're coming back to it, but now before, where we've done more straight line pavé and maybe exploring a little bit with some other bits and pieces, we're now working in a hexagon shape. So you're going to be going around your big central stone with your pavé, which you already know how to do, and you're also going to be creating some giant chunky claws to set a beautiful stone in the middle. So really, again, really technical, exploring different ways of making claws. Up until now, we've mostly used sort of round wire, delicate round wire to create claws, but exploring like a chunkier claw setting, exploring how to have a central piece with bits around, which is what we call the halo setting. And yeah, just really exploring kind of how to bring bits and pieces together. Week 6 and 7 is the hollow hinged bangle. So we've not really made many bangles. So this is always good fun. Now, again, this is challenging, but a lot of fun. So the bangle is hollow. So it's not, it's hollow. And there's a special technique for getting it to be hollow, working with tube and various different pieces. And then there is a mini hinge. So you've done hinges, but this is a very mini hinge on one side. So it kind of opens like this. And there is also a mini box clasp inside the bangle. So it's things that you've done, but it's a smaller scale and it's creating a really kind of stunning end piece. And you can design it however you want. One of Anelia's here has a cluster of little diamonds on. That's a gold plated one with the diamonds. And then one here, she's done a silver bangle and then soldered on some gold jump rings. So much fun. So much fun to be had with the hollow hinge bangle. Then you have a couple of weeks to work on your final project. So your final project is to make an engagement ring and wedding ring set in your signature style. So we'll be talking about this a bit throughout the program. And you can see 3 here from previous students. They actually weren't on the advanced diploma. I think they were on the fine diploma. I think they're on the fine diploma. Well, maybe they're on the advanced. I can't even remember. How bad is that? Anyway, 3 previous students who took part in the Jewelers Retreat show that we did a couple of years ago. We set them the same project and you can see some of the beautiful pieces that they have made. So combining different things, claw settings, collet settings, we've got eternity kind of castle settings, we've got grain settings, octopus settings, all different types of things. These are from the Jewelers Retreat from the advanced diploma. Thank you, Anna. Somebody knows. But yes, beautiful kind of things that you can create at the end. And I think it's really nice at the end of the whole program we want you to leave with a portfolio of work that shows what you can do to your clients, because this isn't just about improving your skills, but for most of you, this is about growing your income and your business, and it's an investment in your business training, and it's a significant one. So it's important to me that the pieces you make, you can show them on social media, you can show them on your website, and people will say, yes, can you make me something like that? Or can I have that one? Or can you do it in a different color? So as you're making these pieces, and you may have found this if you're doing previous work, I would really encourage you to share them, because that's how people are going to order from you. They're going to see it, they're going to love it, and they're going to want to buy it. End up with a workshop week. So you've got quite a bit of time at the end of the course to kind of get those final projects done before you send your work off to us. So just a quick recap on how the marking works. At the end of each term, so 3 times a year, you will post your beautiful pieces off to us. Please don't worry, we're very experienced at how this is done, so we'll give you guidance if you've never done it before. You can send it from anywhere in the world. You all send it on the same day to make it fair, but it doesn't matter if it arrives later. We just ask for sort of proof, I suppose, a receipt that says you sent it on that day. But if you are overseas, it may take a while to reach us. And those of you in the UK, we may get it the next day, which is exciting. And then we get it all in our central warehouse. We send them off to your individual mentors. They will look at your work, mark it against a set criteria, which you are given at the start of each term. So we'll be encouraging you to look at that as you go through. And then they'll give you feedback. And the feedback is really about encouraging you guys to improve, but also showing where you don't need to improve, where you've got it, because I find at this level, yes, there are things to improve always, but a lot of the time it's saying, yeah, you did it, you got it right, you're good. Because a lot of us have that imposter syndrome, where we sort of think, am I a jeweler? Am I a trained jeweler? I think I am. I've done training. At what point do you get the I'm a jeweler certificate? So I think having that feedback from this kind of level of tuition, where people have been working in the industry for many decades, and made hundreds, thousands of pieces, for them to say, yes, this is correct, will give you such confidence. And I think that's one of the main things that I see happen with our students. So let's have a look at the fees. The course fees for this course are £3,278, which includes your stone setting kit worth £399, which we will send to you. We do have a limited number of those kits, and Scott makes them with his bare hands every year, and they take a really long time to make. So we are capped at the number of people we can take on this course. So if you want to sign up, we would encourage early sign-ups. Also, if you are a current Diploma in Fine Jewellery student, you get a £500 discount, which is huge. So for you, it will be 2,778. Which includes again that stone setting kit. So it's just a brilliant follow-on. It's great value for money for all the training. And I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. So yes, like I mentioned, the £500 off for current Fine Diploma students ends on the 7th of March. So if you do want to join us, you need to sign up by then. You don't need to pay the whole fee in advance. You can pay a deposit of $199 before the 7th of March. Because a lot of you are paying payment plans at the moment, we don't want you to have two payment plans to pay at the same time. So from sort of August, September time, late August, early September, when the course starts, you will then be put onto a 12-month payment plan of £215 per month. And we should definitely be making that back with the pieces that we're making, this level, this caliber. So hopefully it is something that you can easily cover in your jewelry business. That is my hope and goal for you. For new students, so if you're not on the diploma, there is an 18-month payment plan. This is £183 per month, and it starts as soon as you book. That does also end on the 7th of March. So 7th of March is the deadline for it all, which is not that far away. So I definitely encourage you to kind of go for it if you can. Like I said, on this course particularly, there are limited spaces. There are limited spaces on them all, but this one, it really is limited because it's harder to kind of be able to make additional stone setting kits, find additional mentors at this level, and we do like to keep it quite a small group because we love how everyone kind of comes together and can help each other at this more advanced level. So don't leave it till the last minute because we would hate you to be disappointed. If you'd like to enroll, Anna will put a link in the chat. You can go ahead and sign up. Enrollment is open now, and we would absolutely love to have you. We are super passionate about supporting you in developing your jewelry business and developing your technical skills. And wherever you are in the world, whatever your experience is, I mean, as long as you feel like this is the level that you need to be at, we just want to help you get to the next level. We can't wait to see what you guys make. If you've listened to this and thought you're interested, but you still have a few more questions after the session today, you can always come chat to us. There's never any pressure in a discovery call. It's just a chat with someone on the team, probably who's done the course, and can just talk you through their experience and see whether it's going to be right for you, because we want the right people on the program as much as you guys do. And we always love hearing from you, whatever your questions are. There's some of the crew. And of course, for those of you joining us, we can't wait to work together to create your future in jewelry. And I just get so excited for people to be learning at this level, because there are not actually that many jewelers that have done this level of training. Even if you've done a degree in jewelry, even if you've worked in jewelry for a long time, a lot of these skills, a lot of jewelers don't know. So it's a really exciting kind of offering. I did see there was a question about whether there's a material kit. We don't have a material kit for this course, partly because you guys are at the level now where we feel like you can get your own materials. We believe in you. But also there's more flexibility in this year in what you make your pieces out of. So there are less pieces in total, so it's not quite as an overwhelming task as the other 2 years, and you can choose, like, do you want to use gold in your work? Do you want to work in silver? So we kind of want you to start making those decisions and think about what you want to do and create and how you want to invest. But don't worry, we have a complete a material list, so you can go ahead and start ordering them. And if you have any questions, we are here to help you with it as well. And I think in many cases, there are codes and various different things of exactly what you can get and where you can get it from if you are stuck. Awesome. And Anna shared all the links. So that's super helpful. Thank you, Anna. And I think that's everything. I can't see any other questions. But of course, if you have a question after you go away today, you know where we are. You can find us on email. You can email me, jessica@jewellersacademy.com. Or you can also come chat with me on Instagram. I check it in every day. And we also have Facebook groups and various different things. But I'm just excited for our next round of advanced diploma students and making lots of these beautiful pieces together, and not just making these pieces, but what you'll be able to do with these techniques afterwards. And I've seen what people are doing with them, and I am super proud of them. In fact, I haven't talked about any of our previous students, which I really should, but we can sort of follow up with that afterwards. But they are just doing incredible things. So, exhibiting at amazing fairs, opening shops, selling in galleries, growing their businesses. This, for most people at this level, this is their full-time job, or it's soon to be. So we're here to help you on that journey. So thanks, Anna. Thanks everyone for being here. Lovely to see you. And the puppy was quiet the whole time. Yes, very excited about that. Well done, puppy. All right, take care, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.